Welcome to Opinionated. This is a show that is brought to you by the Black Star Network and sponsored by the Black Gold Empire. Now, today we're discussing a very, very interesting topic. We're discussing sex before marriage, guys. How do you guys feel about that?
Personally, I would say sex before marriage is totally up to the couple themselves. Whether they would like to go ahead with that decision, it's totally their choice. However, I do have an opinion in regards to especially religion. So if you're Muslim, for instance, they believe that sex before marriage is not on. So, you know, if you was to go against your religion and do that, then I do think it's unacceptable. But yeah, generally, I think if the couple are happy and interested in each other in that sense, then yeah.
So what about the individual, not the couple as a whole, but what about the individual? What if, is it right or wrong for somebody to choose?
Well, for somebody else to choose for you, who you're going to marry?
Themselves, yourself. How do you feel? Like because she was talking about it being based on the couple. Mm-hmm. So individually, you can choose to have sex before marriage, right? Mm-hmm. Is that right or wrong?
I wouldn't say it's a right or wrong answer. I mean, I think it's totally, again, down to the person and whether they believe it's the right time for them, the right decision for them. And, you know, if they're happy, then I don't see it being wrong, other than how I said before, if it's going against their religion or their beliefs.
Well, I feel like I'll use me as an example, and the only reason I'm saying this is because I've already spoken about this on my YouTube channel.
Right.
So I'm 26, and I haven't had sex, well, traditional sex. Some people that are Muslim will say, oh, all sex is sex, but I'll say traditional sex. And for me personally, growing up, I didn't grow up in like a religious household. Like my mum and dad didn't go to church, but they made us like have Jehovah's Witness, and then we went to church. Mm-hmm. But I think growing up for myself, it's like I just wasn't ready, and I wasn't put into the peer pressure. I went to an all-girls school, so I feel like that helped. But as I've grown up, I'll be very, very honest. Like it got to a point in my life where I actually regretted not doing it, because now I feel like, and this sounds really bad, but I'm just going to be real here. Now I feel like I'm in a stage in my life where I have to wait until it's the guy that I'm going to marry, otherwise I'm going to get. Can I swear?
It probably will be bleeped out.
Okay. I'm to the point in my life where I feel like I'm gonna be effed over if I just give myself to just anyone.
Yeah.
But like I'm happy with my decision. Like I don't regret it. But I definitely.
Sorry, not to cut you.
Yeah.
Why do you feel like you're gonna be effed over?
Because I feel like I have to like now wait for the right person. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I feel like if it's just anyone, I just feel like I've wasted all those years.
So basically, you want to make sure you're like well informed.
Yeah, make sure it's the right guy now, because it's just like I'm in the stage of my life where I don't want to just be dating for dating's sake. Like I want to find that partner and just be.
So you would prefer to marry him first before the sexual?
No. I mean that would be ideal, but if I find someone that I feel like that is the one, I honestly, it's not religious for me right now. I feel like I probably.
You want your first car to be your last car?
Yeah.
I think every girl wants that. It depends on the person.
People say, I wish I waited.
It
Depends
your
on the
aspiration.
person. And that's me, because I don't know, I can't compare that to anything. So in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, I want the first to be my last.
Mm-hmm. So both of you touched on something which I'm going to throw at you two. Mm-hmm. You talked about religion, and you also talked about religion. Mm-hmm. Right, so without religion, does that mean that sex before marriage will be fine? Because I mean, I think there's celibacy for a reason. I feel like sex is normal for people to have it. So why do people make celibacy a big thing? Now you touched about religion. If there was no religion in the world, do you think that people would care whether they had sex before or after marriage?
I feel like more people would just be having sex before marriage. I think.
What do you think?
I think it would be a good thing, because people, especially like nowadays, use sex frivolously, like it doesn't mean anything. And from a deeper understanding, like it's more than just physical. Well, for me, it's more than just physical, it's spiritual. So, and I also feel like a lot of people don't realise, like everybody's so caught up in the physical. So people think, oh, what you see around you, like, this is just it. No, this is not just it. You know, obviously there's certain things that we aren't actually taught in school. You know, kind of thing. People think, oh yeah, I'm going to go to school, get a good job, everything, you know, and then everybody's thinking, yeah, get money, get money, get money, get money, get money. Do you know what I mean? But there's a whole bigger picture. Like, even when you look at some quotes, it'll be like, take care of your mind, your body, and your spirit. It's all connected, right? So this is not just it. So you can't exactly be feeding one side of you, which is your physical material side, and not feeding the other side of you, because hello, we are spiritual beings having a physical experience, not the other way around. Do you know what I mean? So to wait before marriage, I think, yeah, it's still a good thing, because marriage is a union. You know, not saying that you have to have go through marriage or whatever, but at least be well informed enough to know who you're choosing. This person, like, do you genuinely have a connection? Don't just go after the person and say, oh yeah, he's got a Bentley, yeah, I'm gonna jump on him. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, no, like, you got to look at everything, and don't settle for what you think is equal. Do you know what I mean? Because equal doesn't always mean, oh, it's gonna work out, and then you end up why things end up mashing up in the end. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's good, because you'll take your time to get well informed about it. Do you know what I mean? I think it's good.
I think as well, even not even having religion there wouldn't make a difference, because people don't even like to follow rules. So I think.
What about you, Mikos? You've been very quiet.
I think with or without religion, people would always have things to say about everything. So when it comes to sex, I believe it's down to the individual that's involved, or the individuals that's involved, because these days there's different types of sex. But
yeah, exactly.
It's down to the individuals that's involved, and like you said, whatever you did or whatever you have not done, how you feel about it. If that's how you feel about it, if that's how you feel about, you know, you go after that. Because if you don't do that, because you're not being true to yourself, and then you end up regretting it, as opposed to someone else that if that Bentley is what that girl really wants out of sex, by all means go for it.
But I will say, like,
but it's down to you. It's not down to anyone else. It's not down to whatever religion or whatever state, whatever. I don't know.
Okay, let me just throw this out there for you guys. Okay, religion out of the question. If you guys are sexually active, are you okay with your parents finding out?
I would say it depends on the circumstance. Like, if it's your boyfriend, you know, it's totally different than you saying you're just seeing someone on a regular basis and you're just meeting casually. No, you wouldn't want your parents really finding out about that. If it's your lifetime
Is there
partner,
a reason why? Why?
Yeah, because of, you know, you want your parents to believe that you're committed to someone, you're devoted, and that person feels the same way about you, and you want them to believe that you're serious about being with someone, you know. So.
But then, do you think that the fact that you're actually considering that your parents don't think that is the right thing to do, or you wouldn't tell your parents about it, makes it wrong before marriage? Because I'm pretty sure after marriage you would be okay to talk to your parents about it.
I think it depends on the parent. Like, my mum knows everything about me and everything that I have done and have not done. Like, because that's just how my mum is. My mum is very open, and we have conversations about it all the time. And I feel like it just depends on the parent, and I think
and the
relationship, and I don't think that if you feel scared to tell your parent, then it makes it wrong. Because I think when it comes to sex or sexual activity, it's very personal, and you don't really want to. You don't want to hear it from your mum and what she does, and you also don't want to tell her.
Give it to your mum. It just
depends.
That's my baby.
It just depends on the situation.
Yeah.
You wanted to say something earlier.
No, I was going to say, what are you trying to ask me if my mum knows that I have sex?
Does she?
Yeah, of course she knows. It's not about everything. To her, like,
Oh God.
But that's your compatibility with your mum, because naturally you seem like a bubbly, outgoing person. Naturally very honest, do you know what I mean? So you've probably got that relationship with your mum to feel to that extent where you can tell her anything in your life.
Yeah, tell her.
Whereas me, I'm reserved, I'm quiet, I'm mysterious, you know, I don't like to tell everyone my business.
But do you think your mum knows? Like, obviously you're a grown woman, but I'm saying, like, when it was happening, do you think she knew, but she just never said anything?
Yeah, I think she obviously knew if I was with a boyfriend, you know, she knows. No parent's dumb. If you're with a man, she's going to know what's going to happen, you know, but yeah.
What about you, Mikhail?
He's a man, you don't give a damn.
It's my parents' business, what I do in the bedroom, so.
Yeah, but for instance, would you be comfortable to talk to them about it, or if they asked you, or if your mother?
If they ask me, I'll tell them. If anyone asks me about it, I'll tell them.
You told them.
So it doesn't make a difference if it's my parents or not. But
So I'm getting the
bottom
sense.
line, it's not their business. So I don't just pull up to them and be like, yo, imagine what happened today, man.
Obviously not. I would rather scare my parents.
Mum, what's going on?
But okay, that absolutely makes sense. Okay, so do you think? So the sense I'm getting here is that it doesn't matter whether you have sex before marriage as long as you've chosen to do so. Am I right to think that?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I
with an
believe
extent.
so.
I feel like there's a lot of peer pressure with young people. A lot of young people are just sleeping around, and then when they get on, they later say, "Oh, I wish I never did that," because they feel the peer pressure. I'm sure you girls know, like young girls who like have sex way too early because they feel the peer pressure, and it's even worse now in society. But I do think if you're old enough and you make your own decision, it's fine.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so my final question for you about this topic is, do you think it's possible, since everyone is cool with having sex before they get married, to be with someone for maybe about 5 years and choose to abstain until you get to marriage? 5 years.
I mean, I haven't.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I don't know what you
I don't know what you mean.
And choose to abstain.
I mean, like you're dating somebody, you guys are in a
5
relationship
years.
and everything, and then I don't know. I don't want to say you guys have done it once, but I mean.
Once in 5 years.
but let's say like one of you chooses to stay away, decide to be sacred until you actually sign that bit of paper, because
For 5
really
years?
marriage is,
I don't know.
apart from like the spiritual union or
You
whatever.
mean to be with that person for 5 years?
Yeah.
I think
Sign
I
a
can do
contract to be with that person for
but I
No,
don't think the
I mean
guy
just
can.
in a relationship.
Let's be real. I don't think no guy's waiting for me for 5 years.
You don't think
I
anyone
can do that, but
I don't
there has
think
to be
I'll wait
some
for
sort of
no wife for 5
intimacy.
years,
But
I'm joking.
sex, like fine, no sex for 5 years, I can do that. But I don't think no man's gonna wait for me. They'll be cheating on me. So
Now that you talk about it, can somebody choose to just stick to oral sex and not have actual sex, and it will still count as sex? Does that count as sex before marriage?
I personally think it's up to the individual. Like, obviously, a Muslim that's never even seen a penis before or a vagina will be like, oh, you are not a virgin, because that's in their mind, all sex is sex. But for other people, I don't think it is. I think
it all boils down to sexual maturity.
yeah.
What is sexual maturity again? Let's
What is
educate
sexual
some of us,
maturity?
yes.
Are we going to be showing and telling you?
What is it?
What is sexual maturity is like...
I think just knowing where you stand sexually and how you feel comfortable in yourself, in your body, how you are with your partner, how you portray yourself to your partner, how you and your partner's intimacy is, and knowing when you feel right to go ahead with that person to do whether it's oral sex or just constant whatever.
That's sexual maturity?
And seeing things for what they really are. Like, well, not for what they really are, because they are different things, different people, but it's quite wide, isn't it?
Is it?
Just not being ashamed to have sex is sexual maturity.
Yeah,
Go to your parents and say, me and
it.
my partner are so happy, we're having sex. Well, not probably like that, because I probably already know, but just being open and honest to people
I think
about your relationship, even yourself. You ain't got to hide it. If you and that person feel that way about each other, just show it.
Perfect. Do you have anything to say? You haven't said anything about that.
Hold on, like, so I was gonna laugh. Like, so, but it's quite wide. Stop it.
Right.
No, what was the goal? No, so, give me the question.
My question is, they were talking about sexual maturity, and they were saying it all depends on that when it comes to sex before marriage. And I want to hear your thoughts on that.
I think, again, it comes down to, being well informed, what you're comfortable with, and knowing what you're doing, and why you're doing that.
So are we saying that religion doesn't matter, parents doesn't matter, it's down to the individual?
Yeah,
to
you're
decide?
just born, you make your own decisions in life. That's what it boils down to. Your decision, no one else on this earth can really tell you what to do. You're your own person. You was born alone, you die alone, and if you want to have sex before marriage, that's your own choice.
I agree.
It's just long as you're comfortable with it and you're not harming no one. It's not against your religion. If you're not a Muslim, if you're not following that religion, then I don't see there's no harm in it, really.
Okay, come on guys, I really feel like you guys are holding back a lot. I mean, you were all good, like, you know, as if your parents were watching or something, but I really need you guys to be very, very, like, you know, clear and detailed about this, right? So I'll start with you, Tia.
Okay.
You're the one who was, like, the most open about, you know, your being sexually active before marriage, of course. But can you tell us a little bit about how you were brought up and at what point you actually chose to, like, you know, be sexually mature and do your thing?
Okay, first off, not that I'm agreeing about being sexually active before marriage, but I agree that it's good to wait, you know, so to be well informed about like that kind of decision making. And then, but for my upbringing, it wasn't like say strict, but it was quite sheltered. I don't know if that's the right word, that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Very, like, you know, my mum and dad were very like protective kind of thing. So obviously I didn't really get to go out and explore until like later on. Like, do you know what I mean? Kind of thing. So for me, like either way, like waiting and not waiting, it's like it's up to the individual, but just be well informed in every aspect.
So when you chose to choose for yourself, what are some of the things that you actually thought about that helped you to make that decision? What are some of the things that influenced that decision?
Curiosity.
Okay, now I need to probe on that. What does that mean?
I don't know. I think that's why everyone basically. I don't know how old you were when you started being curious, but I think, you know, young people, that's why they, you know, end up in sexual relationships, because they feel curious and they want to know, you know.
So do you think the reason why you waited has no bearing on what your parents think or what your religion thinks? It's just something that you've chosen for yourself?
Yeah, I think when I was younger, like, I'll be honest, it was definitely the way I was raised and the religion. But as I'm older and mature, I know now that it's to be honest, it's like I don't want to feel attached to a waste man. Like, imagine like giving your everything and the guy like doesn't call you again. I will throw a rock in your house. Like, I need to be with someone that I know like loves me and cares about me, and I'm willing to wait. Like, I don't feel that urge to just do it with anyone just because.
So what if you meet someone who doesn't want to wait?
Oh, then
someone that actually possesses everything that you need.
No, then that's not
in
right.
A man.
Like, and people, I'll be honest with you, like, people think that being a virgin is like this amazing thing, which it is. Like, I'm very happy and proud, but I've been rejected. Guys have like lied to me. Like, it does weed out the bad guys as well, because it's like guys can't keep up a front for too long. So when you start clocking that he really wants to and you're not, he will literally cut you off and not talk to you again. But I know that you think that like you said earlier, that you wouldn't wait for a girl, you would actually cut her off and just like...
I don't think I'll cut her off if it's the right girl. Even if she thought she was going to make me wait before, she would change her mind when she needs
What is it that you're going to do that's going to make her change her mind?
It's just the way it is. I think things should not be forced. I don't believe in all that waiting stuff, and not for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, but what if the lady doesn't feel forced, but that's what she wants? But think about it, she's everything that you want in a woman. Everything.
If she was everything I wanted in a woman, she would have fallen for my walls in the first
So you're
place.
going to let her
So
go?
I don't think you're right by saying she's everything I wanted in a woman. Your question is flawed in the first place.
Okay. I take that correction. But what does that make you as a person, though? If you just let someone go because they don't want to have sex with you?
It makes me honest. I ain't got time for bullshit.
Yeah, I prefer guys that are just not honest.
You know, when you're ready, come back.
But
it might take you
So
2
there
weeks.
is no
it
way.
might take you 2 months, but come back. But
So,
I ain't gonna sit there and lie to you and tell you or try and beat around the bush.
So if she wanted to wait a few months, you let her go?
How did we even get to the point where we're having the conversation where she's telling me she wants to wait a few months?
Okay, maybe you've done
Was there
it
no
once
attraction
before.
in the first place? How did we get
No.
to that point where we're sitting on that couch trying to
Because
get
maybe
to that
she wants
first
to
place?
to know your personality. She's not
She's going about it
Do you
the
know what I
wrong
mean?
way then.
Anybody
isn't she?
can get to know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's be real. I'm going to be honest with you. Anybody can get to know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just being raw.
Get
But-
to know and get to
but
know are two different things.
It's deeper
Yeah.
than that. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, the thing that's going to help anything last, depending what you're looking for, is the person's personality. Like, sex is the sex. Do you know what I mean? Listen, anybody can open their legs. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's just be real, kind of thing. So It's the personality. It's what's upstairs.
And you judge her.
It has to be natural.
But you'd still judge her if she had sex with him on the first date. You judge her then.
No,
and if she took too long, then you wouldn't.
So what makes you think that he will judge her?
No, because he's acting like he hasn't got time to wait. Like you're
Not
saying
that I haven't got time to wait. I believe in flowing, right? I don't believe in just being stagnant.
Okay, so
and if I was with a woman, and if naturally that doesn't occur, and that doesn't push us to that point, we could be 3 months and we could be a whole 6 months without having sex. But I would not want to sit there and feel like there's a barrier stopping me.
Okay.
No one would tell me that, yo, man, you can't do this.
You're not used to having anybody tell you.
I'm not used to people saying
You're not
you
used
can't
to
do
anyone
this,
telling
you
you
can't
no.
have that.
So she said to you that basically she wants sex.
If she felt like she had to bring up that conversation with me, and that means she must have felt that I wanted that, and she can't provide
Not necessarily,
it.
but
So
she's probably thinking it's been a certain amount of time already. I naturally know what men are like. After a certain amount of time, they're going to want physical. That's how women see it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well.
Whether or not it's true, there's some guys that can probably wait till after marriage, there's some guys that can probably wait till you're a certain age, there's some guys that can't.
Yeah. I think it's sexual attraction is different, right? I meet a different girl today, and that's all I got in my mind. So even if we're going to get past that stage and even become whatever we're going to become, we're going to have to cross through that first stage first. I meet some other girls and they tend to give me a different kind of vibe, or they tend to, but we can still be life partners. That same girl that I could beat on the first day, and that same girl that I would beat 3 months down the line. But if I meet that girl that I can beat, that's the way I feel about her. If it's not mutual, then we're not compatible. I'm not going to sit there and say I want to wait for her. If I meet this other girl where we're compatible in that sense, where we're sitting there and
so
we're
chilling. So it depends on the female.
Yeah, it depends on the female. It depends on the relationship.
So if the female was your ideal
individuals.
lady, she had all the qualities that you would like in a woman.
Yeah.
You would wait for her. She told you, my
You
time.
no, she wouldn't need to tell me. I don't think it would get to that point where she would need to tell me if it was.
What he's trying to say is, if the lady is everything that he wants in a woman, she would want to have sex anyway, because then in that way it wouldn't
what
be.
makes you think?
What makes me think that you got to be in the position to feel that way? But it's like it's got to be natural. If it's not natural, it's not natural.
No.
You can't.
I have a final question for you
it
guys, right? If you ever got into the position where you agree to maybe like be patient with your partner, how long is okay?
In regards to sex?
Yeah.
I wouldn't put a time limit on it. I wouldn't never put
Do you
a time
think
limit
that this is pressuring people to actually get married very quickly so that they can finally have sex?
Yeah, I think sometimes putting a boundary on it where there's religion that comes into it, I think people feel, as she said earlier on, peer pressured. So I feel like maybe that's the case in that sense. Do you know what I mean? That people feel peer pressured to have sex at a certain age. If you're old enough and you're wise enough, you accept it and you'd be like, okay, I'm ready to do this.
I also think like I know people that get married, like pastors in churches will tell young people to hurry up and get married and get engaged quickly so they don't have sex before marriage. I think that is so ridiculous. Really? And another thing is, I'll be honest, even though I've been somewhat sexually active, do you understand what I mean? And I feel like in some way sex before marriage is important, so you need to know if you're compatible with your partner. They say you need to try before you buy. When you buy a car, you need to test it first. Exactly. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not. If your penis is 2 inches, like, I'm not. Obviously, that's not fair.
So that's the reason. It depends on the person. It depends on how you feel towards that. It depends on the size, obviously. It depends on a lot of factors.
I can wait, but I need to know what's going on.
So you could just take a look. Like,
I need to know somehow, some way, because I will just collapse. Like,
I love you said take a look.
I feel so bad. No disrespect to anyone. 2 inches and below.
Do you know what I mean? You have to know what it is before you go for it. Try before you buy.
What do you mean maybe? You just said you won't take 2 inches, so clearly size matters, babe.
Like, in my mind, yes. Like, I feel like so bougie having expectation when I don't even know, but I feel like, come on.
Yeah, but it's fine.
I
always feel the same way.
Yeah, because I think when it comes to men, when it comes to a woman's aesthetics and beauty, there has to be, the woman has to have a curved, she has to have, so when it comes to...
It's only right.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like, why should we as women lower our standards and accept just because?
So you think if the man had a smaller penis, it would make you feel like you can't have sex with him in that sense?
But what if he's everything you want? What if he's everything you want?
I sound like a B-I-T-C-H, don't I?
No, I'm saying
you
that
don't.
basically, if
But
you
what if it's
have
everything
happiness
you
or
wanted,
some of the size that
then
you
you
want, would
saw
you go
that
for it
finally?
before sex? So is that a kind of like an excuse for you to say, all right, I'm not going to go for it because this penis might be small? So if it was big, would you generally actually do it?
Okay, well, I don't know if can I get personal?
Yeah, do it.
Well, basically, I was seeing this guy. We were seeing each other for a long time,
Yeah.
and you know, I saw it and whatever. But I was just like, that's a bit mad. Like,
Under what
it was
circumstances
just
did you see it?
too big. It wasn't gonna happen.
What circumstances did you see it?
Huh?
What circumstances? Like, what circumstances? Were
It
you
was
in?
okay. It wasn't more of a see. I felt it, like, you know, just kissing and
If
touching.
they were around, like,
Yeah, it wasn't that intense.
Are you
Like,
sure?
I could have done that. It was just like a little kiss and touch. We were dating for a long time, and I was just like, nah, I can't. Honestly, it was just
Because it was
that's a
huge.
Problem. I feel like it would have been a problem for even you girls.
So are you saying that?
So it size does matter. Sorry.
basically, she's saying it was an anaconda.
I think size matters. Let's not lie. And this is someone that hasn't even, and I'm saying it. So if I'm saying it, it must be true.
So how big is big?
I don't know, but I just know that.
Or how small is small?
And what has that got
come
to
on,
do
girls.
with
No,
sex before marriage?
No, do you know what? Let me support.
Yeah, it's sexual harassment. You need to see
No,
before.
let me support.
But this is my point. You're saying because it's small, you wouldn't probably go there. So I'm saying if
No,
it's
if I
big,
was in love,
would that
then that's
mean
different, 'cause I
that-
wanna fall in love
So
before I have
you're
sex,
saying if
but I'm
your guy
saying-
is big before marriage, you would do it before marriage. But if it's
Like
small, you wouldn't
it sounds
go.
shallow,
Just has
as
to be-
shallow
It's not
as it sounds. Like comment, like you genuinely want to feel something. Do you know what I mean?
Not
Like,
too much.
There's too much.
Let's hear him out. What do you think about
Well,
that?
the girl wants to fall in love. And at the end of the day, if you want to fall in love with something, you have an expectation of it, right? So you have an idea what, you know. So if you have an idea that this penis is going to be like this when I find it, you ain't going to settle for, so it's only right.
Yeah.
It's only right
So you're
that.
saying in a sense to stick to what you know.
No, not stick to what you know. Just make sure you're getting what you want. Because if you don't get what you want, if you decide to settle later on, you might get somewhere at some point
I
and have to
agree.
reverse and change your course again.
Okay,
So-
just to complete this segment, what I want to actually understand is that all these things that we've just spoken about, if you met somebody, this is very important, because there are a lot of boxes that we all have that need to be ticked for us to actually marry someone. So if we really met someone who ticked all these boxes and we finally got down to it, I don't know, maybe you want to test it out before you actually get into the marriage, and then you figure out that, hang on a second, this is not what I wanted in the first place, but we're just going to leave this person.
What,
No,
the
no.
willy is the willy side. is
Yeah,
what
you
you
mean
want
like
to
the
do.
sexual
I don't have anything to
expectation is
compare
not as
it
good
to, so
as
I
you
I
thought?
would say.
I think
Is that what you mean,
I
like-
want to hear everyone out on this one.
Okay.
So I'll
Is
start
that what
with
you mean
you.
though? The sexual expectation is not as much as you
Yeah.
thought.
So you've committed
But
to
here's
this
your
person,
ideal man.
everything,
Okay, so
and you're like, okay, this is it. I'm gonna settle down with this person.
to be honest, if you know you're going to be with that person for a lifetime and sex ain't pleasing you, I'm sorry, but that's not going to make you happy in the future. The man might have the ideal traits that you wish for. He might buy you gifts. He might, open a door for you when you come out the car. Stuff like this, like ideal traits that a man should have or possess to a woman that feels love from a man. But if the sex is not something you're loving, or if you're not passionate about the sex, if you're not feeling connected to that person, or for some reason he's just not fulfilling your sexual desires, I think in time that could be a problem. So it could also be selfish for you to then be with that person, because in time, if you're not happy with the sex, it could become like an issue later in time.
I heard you say to everything that she was saying. So do you agree with everything she's saying?
I agree to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have anything to add?
What man is staying?
What
Do you have anything to add?
about if I met this is quite a broad topic though, but at the end of the day, if you're going to be with someone, make sure this particular topic we're talking about, sex, means the same thing it means to you, to that person.
Yeah.
What sex means to me and what it would mean to someone else is totally different. To some people it's a sport. So I can't meet a girl that's not ready to run. I can't meet a girl that's not ready to run and expect love to be enough. It's not going to be enough. I'm not being selfish, and I'm not going to be, lie about it. I've met people like that in the past, and I've been with, obviously there was love there, and I liked every other thing there, but it just wasn't.
I've had that experience myself. There's some guys perfect, but when you're there and you're having sex, you're not feeling that connection. You're not feeling the sex. enough.
Well,
you know what I mean?
What about? Because I agree with you to an extent, but I would say that because sex is personal to everyone. I would say for me, I think I could, have some sort of counselling or stick it out, because I've had, with my ex, well, I've only had like one boyfriend, but with him, we had such a deep connection that it was deeper than I felt like
With anyone.
that I could go on and on and on. And at some point in your marriage, no one's going to be having sex every
But
day.
you have
so I
an
feel like it's not that
expectation
way.
of sex in your mind. So what if you
Yeah.
don't fulfill that?
It's going to be peak, but I don't know. But in my head, I don't think sex is everything.
No, of course, 100%.
And I feel biased but that's what I think.
And you, finally?
Okay, so back to if it wasn't the right size.
Well, if everything was perfect,
Everything is perfect, but
Do you know what? Yeah,
Even the size,
Do you know
it's
what?
just the sex.
Do you know what? Okay, see, once we're being honest,
Yeah.
right? And I don't want to sound like I'm not a psycho. Let me just put that out there to everybody. I'm not a psycho, right? I love everybody. So I had a similar experience to you. So basically, I met this guy, and he was lovely. Like he helped me decorate my house. Like, do you know what I mean? Anything I needed doing in the house, like he would do it. He would fix it. Do you know what I mean? Everything. Nice, just everything. But obviously, like I was just being, because I'm a very kind-hearted person, believe it or not. I'm very kind-hearted. My heart is pure. Like it wasn't really that adequate downstairs.
well, it was too small.
It was too small, but it wasn't too big either.
Oh, it's just
Do you
it wasn't-
say?
you had photo basically.
Yeah.
So,
Like,
but
so-
this is the thing. There's some guys that have got the size, but they just don't know how to use it.
Yeah,
you know?
but-
some guys that don't.
But obviously, I went like researching, tapped in Google.
Oh my god, it was that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad. No, it wasn't, honestly, it wasn't that bad, but it needed a bit of help. That's all I can say. Do you know what I mean?
and so for that reason, you just let it go.
No, it wasn't because of that reason. It's because of a different reason. But I did try to help.
You
but-
try to help.
Yeah, I would make smoothies, like you morning smoothies, and I put maca
No,
powder
it's
in
over.
there.
If he's past puberty, it's not so
And I went to go order like some penis enlargement pills online.
Are you
And I was
serious?
like, yes,
So
I'm
bad.
have smoothies.
What did you have to say about it?
So embarrassing.
And I'm like, yeah, back smoothie. Yes, tastes delicious. Like, yes, baby. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't tell him what you was doing?
Huh?
You didn't tell him what you was doing?
Hey, I didn't want him to feel shame. Do you know what I mean? I just want him to think like it miraculously.
And that didn't work.
Huh?
And that didn't work.
Yeah, another situation happened, and I thought I made the right decision by making that decision, and it was the wrong decision.
I think we're all in the dark here when you say that decision. And
Because I don't know, I'm being honest enough.
Did the thing
like,
have side effects? What you was giving him to eat?
Did it work?
Is that what it is?
I think that is every other day.
it was going up, but I'm saying they could have like doubled a bit more size.
So
it
worked.
too much.
Yeah, no, so it worked. Like it was calm. Like it was just a bit small for my liking, you know. So that's just me being honest. I tried to help.
Can I ask you a question? Be honest, straight yes or no
I
answer.
don't want to.
Do you think? Right, you know how guys they always ask girls like how many guys you've slept with? Yeah. Do they really care about the number, or is it more for their self-esteem? Like they feel
I think
they're going to
people are
compare me to
different,
someone
and
else.
I'm going to say that word again that I don't fully know the meaning to. That it all boils down to the sexual maturity. People would view sex and how many people you slept with and all of that stuff differently. People would think, oh yeah, I'm going to meet a girl, she has to have slept with a certain amount of people. But if you connect with someone in a certain level, those experiences that they've had that you're seeing negative might actually come in handy. I don't know how to explain that, but
Are you satisfied with that answer? Because you had to stop
I am.
everyone.
I don't believe it.
Okay, right. So I believe that's it for us today. Thank you for joining us, guys. See ya.
See you later.